FlossTube, I'm Nicole and this is DDs FlossTube Season 2, Number 10. Well, good morning everybody and welcome to Darvanalee Designs Studio. If you are new here, welcome. Thanks very much for stumbling over me and taking a second to see what this is all about. For those that are new here, this is a multi-craft channel and today's video is all about cross stitch and what I got up to during the week and the craziness that is my stitchy life. And you know, some little bit of haul and maybe a little bit of life thrown in the mix as well, and people I'm watching and all that sort of stuff. All right, and for those that are returning, thank you for taking time out of your day again and spending it with me. Grab your stitching, grab your cuppa or your morning tea or afternoon tea, wherever you might be, and sit back, relax, and we're going to get into it. The first thing that I want to say is a thank you to everybody that turned up for the stitch along that it was Zoom stitching meetup Sunday just gone. So thank you for those that turned up. We had a fabulous day. Tia and I ended up being in there for 12 and a half hours. We were on line 4, so it was a big day, a big day. And for all those that joined me on Monday for the live stitch with me, thank you so much. It was great to see all the comments and the conversation flowing in the live chat, and also for the new people that joined us on that day as well that were able to catch me live. So that happens every Monday. Of course, if it's not, I will put a notice up in the DDs Quilting and Crafting group. So because sometimes, you know, life gets in the way and I might not be able to make it. So, but for the most part, if it's planned, I'll be there. So it'd have to be some sort of catastrophe for me to not turn up. So I work from home and everything is set up. All right, so today is a Thursday, what date is it? It is the 22nd of October. My goodness, we are almost to the end of the year and I am starting to gear up and start thinking about the things that I want to achieve for 2021. So we're going to cover some of that today. I've had some haul this week. I've been sewing up a storm this week on the sewing machine. So the stitching has been the minimum requirement. And the most exciting part is I have a retreat that I leave for tomorrow. All right, so I'm going to get stuck into the whip straight away, and then that way you can see what I worked on. I got everything that I wanted to get done this week achieved. I have spun the wheel, and yeah, I've worked on quite a bit today. Well, not today, this week. So we've got a bit to cover. I'm a little bit frazzled this morning. It's been a very hectic morning here at DD's. Just family-wise, they've just been a little bit crazy and off kilter, and I think it's got something to do with the weather. So if you get a bit of glare off my glasses, I do apologise. I do have the anti-glare on there, but this light above me seems to be flicking off every now and again. And yeah, so I've got all the lights on today because it is very cloudy. We had the first storm of the season here in Queensland yesterday and we got a nice drenching. My chickens absolutely loved it. They were running around in the rain and scratching away and just having a ball, basically. They were very excited that it was raining. It happened right at school pickup as well, so that makes it very difficult to get to the children when they're stuck in the rain. Yeah, basically it was just bedlam down at the schools. Now, my kids normally walk to school. I drive them in the morning because I'm dropping off Mia, but we generally, when it's nice weather, they walk to school and whatnot. And yesterday afternoon, I sent them a text because the storm rolled in about 2 o'clock. And basically, I sent them a text. I said, wait for me at the office. I'll come and get you. Yeah, I took the wrong turn and ended up in the middle of the school traffic. I don't know what I was thinking. But anyway, I got there in the end. One of them was a little bit drenched. Come home, had a shower, and she was fine. So, yeah. So we got some water into the rainwater tank. I was a bit concerned that we weren't going to get any rain soon because we were getting low in our water tank. So I'm on town water for household stuff, so toilet, showers, and all that sort of stuff. But our drinking water is a rainwater tank because the town water is not that nice, and sometimes it smells a little bit too much chlorine in it. So yeah, so basically we have a rainwater tank, and that is just purely it's not even connected to the house. We actually have to manually go out and fill up our we've got a thing that would sit on our side bench, and we fill that up. So manually everybody takes turns filling up the water, and we just have a 10-litre container on it, and we do that manually because Kingroy town water to drink is not that fabulous. Oh no. All right, so let's get stuck into it. All right, so on the last Thursday, I spun up the wheel, and I was working on Tribal Cat by White Willow Stitching. This is done on 14 count Aida, and I am actually using, I was going to do the Call for Colours, and then I changed my mind. I happened to be in the cupboard the other day, and I found the rest of my silks. I do apologise for the parrots outside if you can hear those. They're going off this morning. So this is the chart that I'm talking about. It is White Willow Stitching, and it's called Tribal Cat. So I decided to do this a little bit different. Instead of doing it in the black, I'm actually doing it. I've also got the cauldron, and I've got a dragonfly as well. So I ended up doing it on 14 count Aida, as I said, and I ended up using this Silks for You. Okay, now I got this Silks for You in the colour of the month, okay, and it is PR001. So that is the number there for those playing at home. And this is what I got done. So I didn't get a lot done. I started, that's the back of the arch of the cat's back. So, yeah, and you can see some slight variegation in that. And don't worry about that red mark. That's just a friction pen. That's just to tell me where the center is. And then I work from that mark there. So, yeah, you know, I need all the help I can get to find the center. But, yeah, I was pretty happy with how that stitched up. I love the feel of silks. Like, I don't know if, like, I know lots of FlossTubers that I watch work with silks, but if you haven't worked with silks before, do it. They're so nice to work with. And purple being my favorite color and all, I thought that was a really good one to use. I did have a couple of choices in the purple because one month we got a rainbow one, which I can't remember what it was, but this was the rest of the pack. So that other purple and then this one here. I was going to do this one because I do like the combination of purple and green together, but I decided to go with that other purple. And this one's just a little bit lighter. So worst case scenario, I can pop some in, but I'm not going to need to that. So here my silks are just sitting here because I was using them the other day. Excuse me, I've got the hiccups, something fierce this morning. All right, so that is what I worked on Thursday night. And I also worked on the one that I didn't get started the week before, which was on the Saturday. And that was Barbara Anna's, and I've still got everything packed up. I do apologise. That was Barbara Anna's Three Witches. Okay, so I started this as well. And then I worked a little bit more on the Friday night to catch up because it was late on the Thursday when I started it. So that is what I got done. Let me just bring that out and I'll fold that a little bit better. Sorry, I haven't ironed anything this morning. I am absolutely flat out at the moment because I'm not working tomorrow. I have to get a fair bit done today. So yeah, so I started her dress. So this is the side of her dress here, and this is the bottom of the dress of the middle witch that I started. So, and that is DMC. I'm using the called for DMC matching CXC numbers, if that makes any sense at all. So for those that are wondering what CXC is, I get them from Asia. And basically the numbers that are on the CXC match the DMC numbers, and the colors are comparable, maybe slightly lighter or slightly darker, but they're essentially the same color. So I'm happy to use those. The only thing I don't use CXC for is for my heids. I just get the DMC, called for DMC, and I make that really easy on myself, and I just send the sheet off to JK, and then she just puts them together. Like, she's sending 3 kits tomorrow to me, and she's just put on the front for what chart it's for. So yeah, so but for all my other cross stitch, I use either Cosmo or I use CXC. So this is the CXC colour. I think that was 3371, the dark brown. It's not black, it's dark brown. So yeah, I got a fair bit of that done in the end, so I'm pretty happy with that start. And I actually was really enjoying working on this one, so I might even take it away with me. I'm taking a couple of whips away to the retreat, so I might chuck that in and get a few more stitches in. It's a very cute little pattern to work on. I love Barbarana stuff. I just like the style of them. And then on, so I did a bit of that on the Thursday night and a bit of that on the Friday night. And also on the Friday night, I spun up, not a new start, a whip. So I didn't have a new start for the Friday night. So I worked on this and I got... Now, if you followed along with the stitch with me, you would have seen this already. But I ended up getting a bit more into this, and then I worked again on this on the Sunday. I worked on this for 2 hours, and I finished off this motif here. And then on Monday, I put in these 2 motifs in the live stitch with me. So I got a fair bit done last week, and I'm pretty happy with that. So I can start moving on. I've got another motif down here to do, and then I'm going to start kicking along the bottom of the pages and start filling in. So for the most part, I think I may have to pull it out. Like, just looking at it at the moment, I've done a bit of a count, and I'm thinking that I'm going to either have to leave a border off the skeletons to fit the cats in, or I'm just going to have to rip it out. I'm trying to avoid that and sort of fudging it around, but it's not looking good. So we'll have to wait a little bit longer to see if I do or not. So I'm hoping, like, I've come down into page 6. So I went from 3 to 6 and I'm working along. The only thing I haven't done is the cats. And if you've been following a little while, you'll know what I'm talking about. But for those that are new here, sorry about the rustling. I'll just pull out the cover chart and show you what I'm talking about. So I made a mistake in this motif here. I made this cat here, this cat here too wide. So it means that it's come over too far. And I think this cat here is going to actually touch this one here. So what I'm trying to avoid is pulling it out. So I've done all of this motif, this little branch of it here. I've done that branch and I've done that cat, and I've started on this cat. If I have to pull this cat out, I'm happy to pull that cat out. But I don't want to pull the whole lot out. So I'm thinking that I might just have to it may come right over. Like, I've got a fair bit. Yeah, I might have to come right over. I don't know. I'm hoping that I don't have to leave out one of the borders, but if I've got to do that, I will do that, because I just don't want to rip out all these stitches, and this linen is not the best to rip out of. So what I've done is I knew that I made a mistake, so I went up to the top and I started working my way down. So I've done this flower, I've done that, I've done those 2 motifs, I've done this one, and then I've done the purple one on the side, and now I've got this one down here, and then I'm going to start kicking across. So what I'll do is I'll kick across, and then I'll come up and finish off page 6, and basically just work then page, I think it's 5, and then page 4. Now, apparently there is a boo-boo in here. So I've already worked that out. Gail Phillips has, she's already stitched this, and she found quite a number of mistakes. So she's given me the cliff notes for that. So there's colour is wrong in there. They've got a purple, and it needs to be actually sassy brass. So that I've made a note of that. And then there's a issue with the spider one as well. So, but there's corrections on Leela Studios' website for that one. The other boo-boos that we found, there was a mistake up in the cats, I think it was. There was one square that was wrong, and there was a couple of other ones as well. But yeah, so basically what I'm going to do, as I said, I'm going to do page 6 and finish off page 6, come across to page 5, and then do page 4, and then finish, because I haven't finished the bottom of page 1 and 2 yet either. So once I've done all of that, then I'm going to worry about these here. So worst case scenario is I leave one border off those skeletons. That's what I'm hoping to do. Yeah, I've thought about it a bit, but I'm also thinking that, you know what, I might just rip it out. So yeah. But yeah, because I think I've got enough room to play with. I'm hoping I've got enough room to play with. So have your fingers and toes crossed for me that I have enough room to play with, that I can, because there's nothing wrong with the cat. He's one too wide. So see, it's right here, but it's come over here to, like, his bum has come too far over, and which means that this is too far over, and I don't know if I've got enough room there. So anyway, I'm sure I will work it out. I have a little bit of work ahead of me before I've got to worry about it, so that's not so bad. All right, so that was my Friday night stitch, and I was pretty happy with that, and Monday as well. And then I was going to work on it again that night, but I didn't end up doing any on it. I ended up spinning up, and I just need to have a sip of my drink. I ended up, yeah, so I worked on that on the Friday night, the Sunday, and the Monday with the Stitch With Me. So back to Saturday, I ended up spinning up Autumn Lane Stitchery, Hello's Eve Haunting. Now, the picture's not that great because my printer was having a bit of a conniption. But anyway, I ended up printing it out in black and white. So this is the chart that I'm talking about. It's by Autumn Lane Stitchery, and this is it in colour. It still isn't, as I said, my printer was having a bit of a conniption. You can see there, it just, the colours weren't coming out. I have since fixed it, so I just needed to have a bit of a clean, and so I've done a bit of a service on it, and now it's working a little bit better. So yeah, so I started on that one. Now on this one, I'm working on Fantasy Grey, it's called, and it is a 28 count, and I'm just trying to figure out which way is the right way. All right, that's the right way. So this is the fabric that I'm working on. So it is grey. It doesn't really do it justice. It's sort of mottled, a bit of white, and that's all I got done on that. I only got an hour into this, and then I was absolutely devastated. I was writing, and I dropped my and I had this still in the hoop sitting on the bench, and I dropped a marker, and I put that in there. So I'm going to try and get that out. That I hit it with a little bit of stain remover already. So hopefully when I hit it with a bit of water, it'll wash out. So I spent about an hour on that on Saturday. I ended up having a pretty early night. I don't know what was wrong with me on Saturday. I woke up at 7:30. I had to go down to downtown to get some stuff for the renovation. I ended up having to go down and get a TV. It was on special because I need to have the size of it before I can put the cupboards up down there. So I went and got that. I come home and I was back in bed by 12:30, and I slept for 4 hours, and then I was back in bed by 8:30 and slept all night on Saturday. So obviously I was really, really tired, and my body just needed to relax, and yeah, it shut down. But I did get some stitches into the Autumn Lane Stitchery before I ended up, going to bed. So I spent about an hour on it. So I didn't get a lot done on it, but it's still, a start is a start. And then I didn't stitch that was during the day, and I didn't stitch on it that night. I ended up just wanting to shut down, and so I went to bed, and what happened was I know how to knit. Okay, and my purl is a little bit much to be desired because I don't do a lot of it. I've made the girls' blankets, and I've made scarves. I've made knitted headbands. I went through and had a look what I've done. I tried to do a beanie once, but I didn't. I've done beanies on the knitting looms and stuff like that, which is super easy to do. But I want to master my pearls. So I started doing a bit of that, and I don't have it here to show you. It's actually already packed away because I don't want to forget it, because Tia knows how to knit and she's just going to give me some tips and pointers on tension and stuff like that. So many years ago, my mum and my grandmothers tried to teach me how to knit, and they sort of put me off a little bit because my tension was really tight. Now, we've talked about my heavy-handedness before, and cross-stitching is helping me to get control of that and all the rest of it. Like I rode horses as a kid, you know, so you're used to, you know, tightening up buckles and all that sort of stuff. I did a lot of stuff with my grandfather and all that sort of stuff. So it was more laborious work. So, you know, you tend to have a heavy hand. So then you come back to the gentle crafts and all the rest of it, and you might be a little bit more heavy-handed than most. And that I fall into that category. So basically, the cross stitches really helped me to get a control, and hand embroidery as well has really made me slow down and think about what I'm doing and get control of that tension. So I decided that I was going to take up knitting again. And I think it's been because a lot of the floss tubers that I am watching are knitting. And I've always wanted to be able to knit garments and stuff like that. Like my nonna used to knit the most fabulous garments. And my husband's grandmother, so my girl's great-grandmother, she basically, she'd be sitting there and watching TV and she'd just whip up a jumper. And I've always been envious of those people that know how to knit and all the rest of it. So I've decided that 2021 is going to be the year for me to learn how to knit and make some garments. So I have a list of things that I want to do, and I don't know whether I'll continue knitting on after I've done that. I have really good tension on my knit. So when I knit, I have really good tension. It's the purl, and when I'm starting the purl, that I'm having issues with, that it's not, it doesn't look as good as when I start the row for knitting. So basically, I decided on Saturday that that's it. I'm going to bite the bullet. I can do this. Like, I can do anything. And for some reason, knitting is just doing my head in. So basically, I sat down and I, there's a sock pattern that I've got, which I don't have here at the moment. I can't remember where I've put it. So I think I packed it away with the stuff I've got to take to the retreat. So, but I'll show you again next week. So, basically, I got the sock pattern, and I know how to read patterns and all that sort of stuff, and I know how to crochet. And I've never made garments with crochet, so that's another thing that I want to do as well. And, you know, I've been around a lot of knitters and crocheters and all that sort of stuff. So basically what I want to do is I want to master the purl and the tension. So I've started doing that, and I'm just doing little squares. I've got this book, and it's got 400 knitting stitches in it. So what I'm going to do in the first part of this book, it is all the, I mean, I know that the knit and purl is the basis of all knitting, but it starts with knit and purl. It starts with the stocking stitch, and that's what I'm going to do. Basically, I am just going to start at the beginning, and I'm going to do little swatches. Now, I did a 15 by 15 square, and it's tiny. So I'm going to up the ante to 20 by 20 stitches. And this is what I did on the Saturday night, and that's why I'm talking about it right now. And basically, I'm going to make little squares, and it's got, you know, like it's got, that's moss stitch down the bottom. Okay. Now, I've had this pretty much since it came onto the market, I think. I got this, or a couple of years after. I think I got it around the time Darvanalee was born, so 2006, 2007. So yeah, so basically I want to just go through and do squares, and I'm going to turn it into a blanket for Mia because I haven't made a blanket for her. So I'm going to get some, I'm going to Spotlight this weekend, and I'm going to get some acrylic wool. I do have actual merino wool here in store and stuff like that, because there is a big, I do have a few customers here that buy bulk lots, and I have that in store for them. But yes, like it's got garter ribs, stitch rib, and then it's got fancy moss stitch and mock English rib. So it's a good way for me to practice all these and make a blanket at the same time. So that is what I started doing on Saturday night. Now, as I said, I've packed it away because I'm already packed for a retreat, and I just want to get some tips off Tia. So I'm pretty lucky that I have someone that I can get tips and tricks off, because unfortunately for me, Brendan's grandmother passed away earlier this year, and my nonna and aren't here anymore. So basically I don't have the opportunity, those women in my family, to get that knowledge from, but I'm lucky enough to have Tia that has a little bit, from what I can tell, a lot of knowledge and a lot more than me. So I'll be able to work on my tension. She might have some tips and tricks for me. So that is my plan, and that's why it's packed away. Now, the first thing that I want to make is a pair of socks. And I'll tell you why. In this book here, I've had since 2008. Late 2008 I got it. So basically, yeah, I think it was, late 2008 I got it. So it is Fab Feet and Cozy Toes, and there's 25 different designs in here. There is also some felting and stuff like that. So can you remember these socks? Like, I had these when I was a kid. They're so cute. So I want to make some socks, and I want to make some socks for my sister. She lives down the Southern Highlands of New South Wales, and it gets incredibly cold down there, and I'd like to make her, a handmade gift. And there's some good little, I'm just looking for there's slouch socks, which that's the style of sock that she likes, so I want to learn how to make those. And there's little kid socks in here as well. There's shorter socks. There's, socks that look like that. I don't know. That looks like an actual pattern. Yeah, that's the pattern. So I'd like to learn how to make a pair of socks. I have a beginner's pattern that I ordered, and unfortunately that's packed away. And so basically that's where I'm at, and that's what I was going to do. And that's what I started doing on Saturday night. I just wasn't feeling up to the cross stitch. All right, so moving on to Sunday. Normally I don't worry about going in order, but because I'm doing DDsSpooktober over on Instagram, I'm spinning these up each day, so I know exactly what day I worked on them, and I'm making notes in my journal about it. So this one I have been wanting to start for quite some time, and I first seen this over on Kimberly Ann Designs. She was stitching this. It is Clouds Factory Primitive Ouija Board. Okay, I'm doing this on 28 count linen, and it is a dyed piece of fabric that I got from Paddock Lane Designs, and it's called Autumn Leaves. And I know that she's been waiting to see this pop up, because I told her I'm finally going to be stitching on that fabric that I purchased from you. Now, for most of you, you know that I do not like, I'm not a fan. Let's say I'm just not a fan. It's not that I don't like, I appreciate the beauty of them and all that sort of stuff, but I'm not a fan of the bright colors and the hand-dyed fabrics. But in saying that, it doesn't mean that I'm not going to ever stitch on them. So I seen this when Lisa put this up from Paddock Lane Design. She put it up on her Etsy store, I think I got it from. And I just loved it, and I knew what I wanted to stitch on it, and that was the Ouija board. So this is the colours, there's the colours there. So I've just started doing the letter. It is a linen, and it does have some slubs in it, and which has caused my S to be a little bit higher, and I do not know why, but it has. I looked at it, and from what I can see, I've stitched it all right on that, but there's really, I think maybe one of the slubs is just way too thick, and it's just pulled it up a little bit. So yeah, anyway, I know I don't care, because it's a primitive Ouija board. So I started on the lettering, and it sort of has a curve in it, okay, as I've shown you on the picture. Let me just pull that out again. So you can see there it's got a slight curve in it. So I started on the T, I've done the S, the U, and the V. So that's what I got done on Sunday. That was on Sunday night, because during the day I worked on the Halloween Quaker. So yeah, been jumping around a little bit this week, putting a little bit in, mixing it up a bit. Get that back in there. It doesn't want to go in there. I'm going to have to laminate that, I think, just so it doesn't get wrecked, the cover. All right. And then, so that's all I worked on. And as I said, we had our sit and stitch. So DD's monthly sit and stitch was brought a week early, forward a week early because I'm away this weekend. So basically, yeah, Tia and I were in there for 12 and a half hours. I got on it just before 10. I was actually in there longer because I think I got on at 9:30, and I didn't get off until 10:30 that night. I sent out the wrong time at first, so I do apologise to anybody that came on after that. I sent out the wrong time and I thought I got to everybody. So I just want to say I'm really sorry to Marty. Marty came in at 10 o'clock at PM, and I had thought that I had resent her email and I didn't. So I just want to apologise to Marty. My sincere apologies, hun. I will make sure that you are on the top of my list next time to send you an email to say, hey, we are on. She's got the next meetup, which is on the 28th of October, and that is during the day. It is actually a work day for me. So, excuse me, I'm going to be sitting here doing some hand binding and some cross stitch. We're going to be on for my work day, so you'll be able to see the craziness that, well, it's not really crazy. I'm just going to be sitting here doing some hand binding and chit-chatting with anybody. So if you want to come along and join in the fun, by all means, come along. It's on the 28th. It starts at 10 a.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. And you can come and sit and stitch with me for an hour or a couple of hours. I'm not sure who's going to be on at this stage, but if you're in the group, there is an event there. You can always click going so I can keep an eye out for you. Alternatively, just send me an email to askme.dds@gmail.com and I will send you through the correct invite with the correct time. I will double check it this time. And that way you can come in and sit down and have a bit of a stitchy day with myself, and we can chit chat backwards and forwards. It's really good because you get to meet people that you otherwise just see as a profile picture. We have a good group of ladies that are very much regulars now, so yeah, come along and meet us all. There's some floss tubers in there, there's some not floss tubers in there, but yeah, come and join. It's during the week, so it is a weekday. Because I do know that not everybody can make it on weekends because they've got family commitments and all that sort of stuff. So I tried to mix it up a little bit this month with DDsSpooktober and have them all scattered all around. All right, so on Monday we rolled around and I spun the wheel. Now, I actually haven't stitched on these because I was just absolutely buggered by the time I got to these, because it's dancing doesn't finish till 7:30. By the time I got home and I got her dinner done and all the rest of it, was 20 past 8 before I got to sit down. So I just went, you know what, I just can't do it after the Sunday and that massive day. But I have it here and I'm going to work on it on the weekend. So it is the owl. Yes, it is the owl that I'm working on. I just had to check my notes. So this is the one that I've got to start, and I've still got a couple of these in the wheel, and I don't know which fabric I'm going to stitch on, but I am leaning. I got a grab bag, and this one in there is like a swirl, and then I've got that one, which I think the castle will look really good on that one, and I'm going to do the witch on this one. And then I've got a little bit darker than the last one, and that'll be the cat. Will probably go on that one. So I'm leaning towards this one. So I'm going to get that started at some stage this weekend, and so that'll still keep me on track. You know, I'm only human, and I get tired, and basically go, yeah, I can't do it. I can't even see the fabric. So there's no point in starting to only rip it out. So that is what happened with that. All right, then Tuesday rolled around and it was the mini pin keep. So these are little ornaments, and where is it? So these little ornaments, and that's the name of the person, Curio E. Batakiri, I think it is. And I don't know if that's right or not. I cannot say it. For some reason, it just will not sink into my head. Kyle keeps saying it to me and I still bugger it up. So anyway, I spun up this one and I got some stitches into that. I didn't get too much into it. Still in the Q-snap because I just put it into the bag. And yes, I know I don't normally stitch on Q-snaps, and it's all crooked now. That is straight, but it's just crooked in the Q-snap now. Yeah, it's all shifted. I'll get it to go back. There we go. It's not going to do it anyway. I started doing the border. So the border has a little bit of cross stitch and then it's just back stitch all the way down a zigzag. So I'm just going to do finish off the border and then I can start on the cat. But I don't normally leave stuff in the Q-snap, but I have for this one. I don't know why. I think I'm done. I'm going to bed and I just shoved it in and off I went. All right, so that is everything that I worked on. We got to last night, which was Wednesday night. Again, we had the storm and the power was flickering a little bit here. So I didn't end up spinning up anything. I ended up just sitting down with the girls and watched a bit of TV with Mia. Brendan didn't get home till really late last night. And then, yeah, so I was just watching TV. I started watching Charmed, the new Charmed. It's all right. Like, I was a diehard fan of the first one, you know, and I mean, who doesn't love the Halliwell sisters? But I get what they've done. They've brought it back and it's like, it's different. It's different. Like, it is different. So, I think a lot of people might have been a bit disappointed because it didn't continue on from the Halliwell sisters, but you know, you've got the source of all evil. Like, there's some things that are the same. So yeah, I thought I'll sit down and watch a bit of that after Mia went to bed. And yeah, that's all I did last night. So I've got to spin up and I didn't spin it. Normally I would spin it so I knew what I was going to be working on during the day, and I was just busy binding yesterday and finishing up sewing. So I've been making these retreat bags. So these are the latest ones that I'm working on, and they are in the Spooky Witch fabric. I still have some of this fabric left if anybody wants to get one of these. So you can just message me on Facebook, or you can send me a message on Instagram, or even email me at askme.dds@gmail.com. So yeah, so that's what I've been working on this week. So I've been concentrating on those. They are heading out the door tomorrow on the way to the retreat. I'm going to post them out. I've still got one to get the binding on and finish off the other one. I think I've got one side. It's over there. I can't see what it does. I think I've got one side to go on that, or half a side. I can't remember what I got up to yesterday. So that was my day yesterday, and it was good just to sit down at the end of the day and relax with the girls. They really enjoyed me sitting in there with them as well. So especially because there was a storm, so they get a little bit scared about that sort of stuff. All right, so that is all of my stitching. I am going to, because I am going to be away at retreat, I am going to spin the wheel this afternoon of all the things that I'm going to be starting at the retreat. So I've got Friday's new start. I'll have Saturday and Sunday. I will have 3 charts that I need to take from the Halloween. So that way I will spin them up. I'll know what I'm taking, and then that way I don't have to worry about taking a ton of stuff. Now, just a reminder for those that are joining us, we are doing, I'm not spinning on the 31st of October because I know what I'm starting, and I'll be starting this one here. It is Halloween at Hawk Run, and basically we are doing a sale for this over on Instagram. So the hashtag for that is Halloween HRH sale. Come along and join in the fun. Follow that hashtag and you can see what everybody's getting up to. Now, the people that are stitching this, it is myself, Gail from Gail Phillips. We have Nadine from Nad's Cross Stitch, X Stitch, sorry. We have Tia from Calm Creations. We have Leanne from Morgana Stitchy Moon 75. And I think that's everybody that I'm aware of that's starting it. If you are starting it, leave me a comment down below so I can include you in the shout out. If you've got a floss tube, leave that link down below as well. Let me know and I can go and find you. And yeah, So go over, follow the hashtag. There is a couple of pictures up there already. We're going to start promoting that a little bit more, but it is going to be awesome. Now, I'm stitching mine on 28 count called Rustique. I got it from Sew It All Australia. I will show more of that when we start it. But if you want to see what the fabric is, you can always go back a couple of videos, and I talked about the Shores of Hawk Run, I think about 4 videos ago, and I show that fabric because I'm doing all the charts on the same fabric. So come over and join in the fun of that one. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be great to see the progress. I am going to be, as of next year, so this sort of bleeds into some of my plans. As of next year, I'll be going into the new year with about 79 whips, give or take. So some of them I might get finished early on and whatnot. So at this point, I think I'm going in with about 79 whips. So basically, next year I will have, as of the 31st, I will have 3 of the Hawk Run charts on the go. So I'll have the Village, Shores, and the Halloween. I'm not going to start any more of the Hawk Run charts next year. I've already made that decision. I'm definitely not starting it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put them into a rotation, and what will happen is I will work on them every Friday. And every Friday, because I'm getting together with my stitchy peeps, and basically every Friday I'm going to stitch on those. And what will happen is they'll go into a rotation. So one of the charts will get, in the 4-week period, because I only have 3, one of the charts will get 2 weeks on it. So if in January I work on this twice during the month, then the next month the Village will get 2, and then the month after that Shores will get 2. So I'm hoping to get a fair chunk of these done, and of course, you know, I will work on them during the year and all that sort of stuff. Now, I am going to be partaking in, I've decided that I am going to go back into School of Magical Stitches, and I'm going to do that again. I did stop that in May, and because things got crazy and all the rest of it, but I'm definitely going to be doing School of Magical Stitches, except this time I'm actually going to do it a little bit different. Because I have 79 whips, what I will do, instead of starting something new, I'm going to do penalty stitches if it doesn't meet the prompts. So hopefully I can get, you know, a lot of the Hawk Runs and try and match them to the prompts. Like I've got the Ocean, the Village, and a Halloween. So surely I'll be able to get the prompts to match those charts. I'm going to try and use those as well as whatever I've got in my ever-growing whip drawer that is now 2 whip drawers. So the drawers behind me are filled up. So yeah, so basically that's what I'm going to try and do and get as much of those done. And I think that I might be on target. So I should have, I'm hoping to have 2 of the charts finished by the end of next year. And the reason being is that will keep me on track for the 10-year plan that I have for these. All right, so that is some of the plans that I've got, and the knitting plans I want to do for 2021 is I want to make some garments. So I have socks, a shawl, a cowl. Now, I know that I live in Queensland, but I do retreats up at the Bunya Mountains in the middle of winter. It is cold up there. It gets below 0, and sometimes a fair way below 0. It has even been known to snow up there. So it does get cold, so I'm making myself a pair of gloves, a cowl, and the biggest thing that I want to, and whether I get these all done in 2021, I don't know, but these are some of the goals that I have. I want to make myself a long knitted jacket, and I've had my eye on a couple, and I've just got to narrow it down because I just love the warmth of a knitted. I buy long cardigans all the time, and they go down past my knees. So I want to knit one for myself, and I want to do it in bulky yarn. So basically that is some of the goals that I've got for next year. So Hawk Run Hollow is going to be getting a lot of stuff into it. Every week I'm going to work on that. I hoping to get a lot of my smaller stuff finished in the first part of the year, and I have 3 more heights that I'm going to be starting next year. So I'm going to be starting the study, I'm going to be starting the Christmas 2 and also Which Way. So that is all the floss that I've got coming from JK this week. So basically I just want to get all those things underway, and then I'll just work on all my other stuff. I'll work out a game plan for that. But Magical Stitches really did help me at the beginning of the year be more focused on pieces and stuff like that. And it really did help me get, like, I had a lot of finishes. I did get a lot of finishes. As far as a beginner goes, I got a lot of finishes. It did do my head in because I was starting a lot of stuff and I had to keep finding stuff. And I got a lot of progress in on my Halloween Quaker because of School of Magical Stitches. So I just decided the other day that, yeah, I'm definitely going to do that. If Whip goes a thing as well, I might be able to use that. And I'm also going to continue on with the monthly magazine challenge group as well. So I'm going to use these challenge groups to really help me get through some of those whips. A lot of them are small, so I shouldn't have any problem. Mania, I think, is going to be a Haid. I'm just going to work on a Haid for Mania. Which one that is, I don't know. Whether it'll be a whip or a new start, I don't know. Yeah, I've got to nut out my plans a little bit further and just put in some rotations and stuff like that. I still have a lot of starts for this year. I'm not doing no new starts because if I see something that I do want to start, at least I can. And I've got a couple of other plans that I'm about to go into for 2021 as well. All right, so that is the village and the knitting plans. So I'm going to move on to haul now. Excuse me. I've covered the sit and stitch that we've got coming up on the 28th, so don't forget about that. I've mentioned all the other stuff. Now, before I move on to haul, I am just going to cover some of the admin stuff. We do have giveaways on this channel, and if you want to be part of the giveaway, please fill out the Google form below. That way I don't have to wait around for you to get into me, or we miscommunicate in the email, or emails get lost or anything like that. Just make sure that everything's in there, and please put down your actual name and also your YouTube name, just so I know who you are. And it'll just make life a lot easier for me and all the rest of it. We also have the Buy Me a Coffee tab down below. So if you like this video today, don't forget to maybe buy me a coffee. It's not mandatory, but it would be greatly appreciated. It'll help support the channel and help me move along to get the adverts off as well. Yeah, so that's pretty much all I've got in the way of admin. I've had a lot of questions lately when my retreats are going to be starting up again. Now, I did postpone them because of COVID, and I moved them all for a year. So basically, I just cancelled everything and just moved 2020 to 2021. So we have our first cross-stitch retreat happening on the 29th, 28th? It is the last weekend of May, is what I'll say. So if you've got your calendar there, have a look at your calendar, whatever the last weekend of May is. We actually go from the Friday until the Monday. So we are there the Friday night, the Saturday night, and the Sunday night, and we check out Monday morning. So we have an entire weekend to relax, stitch. We've got a few things happening. We'll have a finishing class with Tia. We have some natural dyeing things that we're going to do. I'm trying to get my hand on some yarn as well to do some natural dyeing with that as well. So yeah, so keep an eye out for on our website. If you go over there, there is an information tab there with all of it, and you can do one of two things. You can pay for the retreat outright, or you can put in to pay it off. So there's those two options there. And then basically, I will contact you if you choose the payoff system. I will contact you and say, hey, I will send you a reminder in a month's time or in 2 weeks' time, whatever you choose, however you want to pay it off. So, and then I will send you a reminder that your payment's due, or a PayPal invoice for you to pay. Okay, so that is sort of how we do the payoff thing. It's just like a lay-by system. I have no problem with you doing that. I just ask that you are paid off about 6 weeks out. I think I've got it for. It just means that if you decide that you're not coming because your deposit is non-refundable, if you decide that you're not coming, at least I can try and sell your spot, and that's how we try to get your money back for you. So you don't always lose your deposit. If I sell your spot pretty quickly, I can flick the deposit back to you. So in saying that, head over to our website, which is Darvanalee Designs studio.com. Look under sewing retreats. I know it's under sewing retreats, but look under sewing retreats and scroll down until you find the cross stitch one. We also have our Christmas in July that was postponed this year, put for the same weekend in July as this year for next year. We still have some spots for that. I think we've got about 10 spots left for that, and we've only got 5 left for the cross stitch one. So you need to get in fast because people are starting to ask about them. People are getting restless and want to start up again. I've also been asked, am I going to run any more next year? At this point, I'm just leaving it as it is because of the simple fact is I just don't know what's going to happen with COVID and restrictions and stuff like that. So those ones were already booked for this year. I did have a couple more set down for this year, but I cancelled them because I hadn't started selling the tickets for those. So I just cancelled them outright. So basically, we managed to get our March one in this year, and then it was that weekend that we were there that the lockdown started. So that's why I cancelled the following 2, because I had already started selling tickets for those. So I couldn't... and deposits had already been paid and stuff like that. So I just moved it, and it just took the pressure off everybody that way. So yeah, so if you want to, just email me, go over to the website, click buy or click part payment and get your spot booked, because they will start moving really, really quickly. All right, so as I said, moving on to haul, and this also factors into some of my plans. Not all of these are cross-stitching. So basically I have done a little bit of shopping this week. And I did shopping a couple of weeks ago, and some of the orders have come in. So I'm going to start with the Etsy purchases. One of the things that I did purchase in the last week was tidy trays. Now, as you know, I am actually renovating my studio, so it is really hard to find trays that fit into these drawers. So I'm going to make them. I decided. So these are by Moments by Liz. And she does some lovely patterns. I think she also does bag patterns as well from memory. But yeah, I've had a little bit of a look, but I haven't really studied what she does. I've seen her around the traps and all the socials and all that sort of stuff. So I got these because I figured I can make them to the sizes that I want. Once I sort of know how to make them, I can adjust the measurements and all that sort of stuff. So I'm pretty excited to do those. They're just made out of fabric and cardboard and a little bit of stitching. I haven't really read the pattern, but they're going to help with organising. If you see my drawer right now, I need them just to stop stuff from falling out. I've got like containers and stuff, and it's just not neat. Like stuff falls out, it falls under the containers, you've got to pull them out and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, anyway. Now I actually purchased these a couple of weeks ago and thought I got all about them. These are specialty stitches and stuff like that. So I am going to do... Next year, I'm going to do something a little bit different. So, you know, I do embroidery, and I've started doing the raised embroidery as well. So you can see that just behind me there. See that piece? That way. There, that one there. That I'm still working on my other one. It makes an appearance every now and again. But I'm going to try my hand at these. Now, Gail put me onto these, this particular person, and it's... Asha, oh, I'm not even going to try and say it, but this is her Etsy store. Okay, I'll hold that there for a second. Okay, so that is her Etsy store, and this is what I'm going to try my hand at. I'm also going to, I talked about this last week, I think. I'm also going to try my hand at blackwork as well this year coming, and this is the other one that I got from the same store. So I just love this, and I'm actually thinking that I'm going to do that in those colors, because those colors just really speak to me. They're autumn colors. What can I say? So yeah, so I'm going to try my hand at that. I'm definitely going to be doing it on black. because I like the look of the black. Yeah, so I'm going to try my hand at that. Wish me luck. It's just stitches. It's just fabric. All right, so this week I actually come across someone come up in my recommended, and her name is Jean Farish, I think is how you pronounce her last name. And I started watching her. She is very, very knowledgeable, like very, very knowledgeable. She teaches and all sorts of stuff, and she does cruises to Alaska. And yeah, so I started watching her FlossTube. She started it back in August, I believe, or late July maybe. So I went back to the beginning and I started watching her, and she's sort of doing her FlossTubers, showing you what she's working on, doing a little bit of teaching. She's been teaching for many, many years in the US, and yeah, I like listening to her. I think I can learn a lot from her. And I know that I said that samplers aren't my thing and all the rest of it, but you know what? The more I delve into this world, the more I'm liking some of the stuff. As you know, I'll be starting, I ordered the sulky thread from my supplier here, and they don't have the color that I want in stock. Always the way. So I ended up ordering some off 123 Stitch so I can get started. So I'm going to do it in the royal purple. I did grab a couple of other purples as well, and also a red, because I do like the red too. The red does appeal to me, but I really want to do that Bristol one in the purple. So basically I've just got to wait for the floss to come, and then I can start it. I've got the fabric and I've already got the pattern. That was out of the Gift of Stitching magazine. It was their very last one, which was the May-June issue of 2012. That was their last one. I wasn't quite sure which one it was, but anyway, I digress. I found Jean Farish, and I really like her style of her samplers and stuff like that. So I went over to her Etsy store, and I had a little bit of a visit there, and I got some charts. I couldn't help myself. So the first one that I seen that I really liked was this one here. It is called The Deer and the Grapes. So I really liked it, and basically it says, day by day we create a tapestry of life, stitch with care in verse and motif. The work of our hands tells the story of our hearts. I love it. I like the little verse on it, and I do apologize if you can hear that whippersnipper out there. It's Thursday and they've all decided to do their lawn today because it rained. The next one that I got is The Hare and the Basket. So I ended up buying 3 from her, and they're just PDF downloads, so that made it really good. So a little bit of instant gratification there. And this one says, threads through time connect all generations of needle workers. We learn our art from the ones who came before us. Today we teach and preserve for the ones who will follow us. Love it. Love it. And you know, like it's yeah. The colours, my printer is not doing the colours justice. Head over to the Etsy store and you can have a look. The colours are a little bit better. Like that pink, that quilt in the background, that's actually like the pink you can really see in the picture on there. So yeah, I got that one. And then this one was just a sampler with the alphabet. But what appealed to me in this one, it's got a house and stuff in it. You'll see that in a moment. But what appealed to me on this one was the border. I really like the border. It's a bit intense, but I like the border. And those trees are pretty rocking too. I don't think anybody has ever said rocking about a sampler before, but I have. I don't know, I just like them. The building, not so much, but I really like this border. And the ABC, I think what appealed to me about this one is the fact that that ABC there is all Smyrna crosses. I love a Smyrna cross. So yeah, I'm pretty excited to start these. So I've got to go shopping for the fabric for those, which I'll probably do closer to next year, but I've got them. And yeah, I think I'm going to try my hand at a little bit of coffee tea dye again. I'm not too sure yet. I'll have a look and see how I go. But I'm pretty keen to get these started. So that will be 4 samplers that I have on the go. I don't know when I'm going to start those, but I'll get the fabric and I'll kit them all out. And she likes to use Cosmo floss. I think that's why I'm like, yes, finally someone's using Cosmo, because I watch a ton of FlossTube and no one uses Cosmo floss. I stock Cosmo floss here in the store, and I'm like, yes, finally someone. They're so nice to work with. So I'm actually going to do them in the called for colors in the Cosmo, because I use Cosmo for all of my embroidery stuff. I want to do something in cross stitch with it. So yeah. All right. And the next thing that I got in haul was to do with my knitting. I went looking for some yarn, and everybody was talking about yarn that they've got overseas and stuff like that. I actually went for the opposite way and looked for some local ones. So this lady is about 2 hours from where I live. She's a natural dyer. Sorry, she is a hand dyer, not a natural dyer. And it is called Cloud Forest Yarns. She's over at Mullaney, and I got this one. I just fell in love with it. Now they are going to make an adorable pair of socks, I'm thinking. It is 4-ply, so I know that everybody talks fingering weight and all the rest of it, but we talk ply here. So for those that don't know what a fingering weight is, that is a 4-ply yarn. Yeah, so basically I do know a little bit about yarn and stuff like that. So yeah, so that I fell in love with. It's called Deep Frost. There is a it's 100 gram, and this is a 50-50. So this is a silk merino. So it's 50% merino, 50% silk, and I just wish you could squeeze this, because it's just so nice. It's going to feel absolutely luscious on my feet. So yeah, I can't wait to stitch this up. And the variegation is beautiful, absolutely beautiful. They're like not normal colors that I would go for. I am very much a purple and all shades of purple kind of girl. More the deeper than the lights, but this really does it's just gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. It's beautifully dyed, beautifully packaged. So yeah, I got that. And while I was there, I did a little bit more shopping. So I thought I could do a cowl, or I could even do socks in these as well. Now there is again, this is a 4-ply. It is a 50-50 silk merino, and again from Cloud Forest Yarns. She does have a website, and I will show that in a second, but hopefully you don't get too much glare, because I don't want to open the package just yet, because I'm just not ready to but again, it's the same sort of feel as that one. And this is the black greys that I got, and that is her website down there. Okay, and this has 5 25-gram skeins in it, and I just love it. So I'm thinking that I might end up making a cowl with that, and just I like light yarns and fine yarns, so I definitely want to master working with the 4-ply. And then I got this colorway. I don't know what I'm going to make with this. I might incorporate it in a shawl or something like that. I don't know. So that is absolutely gorgeous. Not too much glare on that. So it goes, and that's showing pretty true to color, that. So I'm really liking this light up here. It's actually showing the colors. And then of course I couldn't go past the pinkish purple one. Okay, so this, like, apart from purple, this is probably my next favorite colors. I like the deep colors. I love to wear black. I mean, this color here is very unusual for me to wear. But yeah, that's got some nice colors in there. But I think I'm actually going to, I don't know, I think a pair of socks in this one. So I got that, and I'm pretty happy with those yarns. I will definitely be shopping there again. I found her on Etsy, but she does actually have a website. It also says she's got exquisite yarns, simple patterns, and stunning results is on her little cover. Okay, so these are silk merino. The next thing that I got was sock yarn, One Skein Wonders. Now I got this off Amazon. I seen this, I thought, well, that'll be good, because it gives me like a bag, and it's got some kids stuff as well, and it's got some gloves and scarves and all that sort of stuff. So I thought that'd be good, because it's like One Skein Wonders. So Like, that's cute. I mean, I don't know whether I'd make it, but it's cute. You know, like, it's got socks. It's got all sorts of stuff in it. Like, I wouldn't mind making that. That'd be pretty cool. Not in that colour. Maybe in a purple or something like that. But yeah, it's got some good patterns in it. I had a bit of a flick through. I'll probably go through it and earmark it a little bit better. It's got shawls in it. It's got all sorts of stuff in it as well. Like, it's got wraps, it's got socks, it's got, like, it's even got like ankle socks. So these are good for us to walk around in the house in summer. So you know, like things like that. And I want to really focus on like some lace and stuff like that. Do I have lofty goals? Yes, I do. But you know, hey, that's me. I go in the deep end. And then I also got this one came in finally. So I ordered this. It was on pre-order. Basically, I ordered it when I first sent it, and it went on pre-order, and it came in this week. So this has a lot of cute little. There's another chunk. There you go. So this little bag, little gift bag you can do. Bag of treats, that one is. So that must have like lollies and stuff in it. Excuse me. We've got all like an alphabet as well. I'm just trying to find things without a chart on it. It's got some cute little patterns in it and great little ways of finishing things. It's got the bag, how to finish the bag. It's got alphabets in it. It's got several different alphabets. All the patterns are towards the back, the charts. So it actually has all the charts in the back of the book, and then the front of the book has all the, I'm just trying to find the one that I thought was adorable. This one here. That would make an awesome ornament. So that's absolutely gorgeous. I love it. It's got like a book cover in it as well, so like a journal cover, and it's got that on the front. It's got some cutesy little stuff in it. This is adorable. This is the one I was looking for. This is the first one that's going to get stitched. So I love all things acorn and a squirrel. It's so cute. I love it. Look at his fuzzy tail. That is so cute. And that's all done with cross stitches. So if you look at that, that is all cross stitched. Like back here, it looks fuzzy, like it's got back stitch and stuff in it, but it's not. Look, how cool is that? I love it. Absolutely love it. So they are some of my little Christmas things that I'm going to start, and there's a little reef in there as well. So yeah, very, very cute. Very, very cute. So I'm pretty excited to get some of those things stitched up. And like this, I think there's serviettes in here and all sorts of stuff that you can do. The alphabets are pretty good as well. So and the photography is absolutely amazing in the fabrics that she's used. So yeah, I'm pretty excited to start some of that stuff. So that came in as well. That's it for my haul. That's everything that I got for my haul. Yeah, so as I said, there are a few things that I ordered a couple of weeks ago, but they've all sort of come in, and then Etsy really got a run. All right, so people that I've been watching in the last week as well, I've been watching Gail from Gail Phillips. I talked about her heartanger the other day. Like, if you've not done heartanger before, go over and check out her last stitch with me. Absolutely amazing. She did an amazing job, and it was really good to see it in action getting stitched. I've also been watching Amy from Creativity by Gidge. Her bag, oh my goodness, she finished her bag. Not her last video, the video before she showed her bag, and I think I mentioned that. X Stitch MD, I've been watching her as well, and she was the inspiration behind the sampler that I wanted to start. So yeah, Atia from Calm Creations, and I've also been watching the Dizzy Stitcher as well. Here's someone new that's on my list. I've been watching him. He does heights, and he does a lot of heights. So if you're into that full coverage thing and all the rest of it, I think he pops up a video every Saturday. Yeah, go over and check him out. He's also on Instagram under the same thing as well as everybody else is all underneath there. I've also been watching Stitch Roadie as well. yeah, I've actually got a lot of floss tube in this week because I've been at the sewing machine, so I've had the floss tube going. So yeah, it's been really, really good. All right, the next thing that we're going to move on to is the giveaway. And because I'm going on retreat this week, I thought that the keyword down below could be retreat. Tell me about a retreat that you've been on. Are you going on one or anything like that? It is for this one here. Okay, this is a stamped pattern. I've had this here for a long time. I am never going to stitch it. It is a full kit. It comes with all the floss, which some of it is peeking out down the bottom here. It comes with a snap closure bag, so everything you need is in there. I think it even comes with some needles as well. I'll have to double check that, but it comes with all the floss, how to do it, and it comes in its own little project bag. So all you need to do down below is fill out the Google form if you have not done it already. Fill out the Google form and also leave me a comment in the comments below and tell me what retreats you've been on. Are you going on retreat? Anything. Just mention the word retreat. Okay, because that is the code word for this week. All right, well, that is it for me today. Now, if you've lasted this long, give us a thumbs up down below. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you are new here and you've liked what I've rambled on about today. And don't forget to hit that little bell icon beside it, and then that way you won't miss out on any future posts. I record these videos every Thursday and they are uploaded for Friday. And hopefully I will see you all again here on Monday for the live stitch with me. But that's it for me today. I've got a little bit of binding to do and then I need to finish packing and head off to retreat in the morning. So have a great weekend and week, everybody. And I will see you all on Monday for the live stitch with me. Thank you so much for joining and see you all then. Happy stitching. Bye for now.